On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
And welcome to another edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole, not Snowman. I don't think I am. I don't think I've ever been. Along for the ride at the bottom of the first hour will be, of course, Ryan McCarthy of No Credentials Required fame. And joining us at the bottom of hour number 2 will be Jay Spivey with Spivey Notes. And we may have another guest along the way as well, but let's get to the festivities right away. Whip around, please. With the Yankees, when it rains, it pours. Benches clearing brawls in the same inning happened yesterday, but the Tampa Bay Rays still handed the Yankees that, well, let me say it properly. The Rays, they handed Yankees that big, fat, juicy... The Rays won 7-4 yesterday. They won a series against the Yankees, which is something that they are accustomed to because the Yankees have been losing series after series right and left. It's unfortunate. Well, it looks like the Yankees 2023 season. Arizona State, they seem to continuously have problems. They have self-imposed a ball ban, I should say, for the upcoming season, which begins this Thursday against Southern Utah. The news came down yesterday as the Sun Devils stepped foot onto the practice field. Now, the type of penalty often is taken by schools under the NCAA investigation in an attempt to lessen the sanctions that end up coming up later. Well, The program has been under investigation for more than 3 years for alleged recruiting violations, which began in 2020 when Mr. Hello, you play to win the game was the head coach, or Herm Edwards. Among the incidents on campus during what was supposed to be a dead period due to the vid. Well, Herm, you just got to be careful, son. The Padres put himself, well, I shouldn't say they, but a pitcher put himself in a sticky situation. Robert Suárez has been suspended for 10 games for using a banned sticky substance to pitch. The penalty was announced by MLB Senior Vice President for On-Field Operations, Michael Hill. Suárez is appealing the discipline to John McHale Jr., the Special Assistant to Baseball Commissioner Rod Manfred, and any suspension will be delayed while the appeal is pending. Suárez was ejected Wednesday for having the sticky stuff on his left wrist and arm before throwing pitches in the 8th inning against Miami. Suárez denied using any banned substances, saying he only had sunscreen on his arm because it was a day game. Survey said, nah, son. Oh, can I see he's pulling a move of this nature? Yes, I think I can. Yes, he says to the Bucks he's not going to sign an extension until the team is committed to winning. Yes, he said that this fall he will not sign that extension and won't do so until he sees the team heading in the right direction. Now, he said the numbers, it really doesn't make sense when referring to a new contract. He went onward to state the following, quote, next summer, it would make more sense for both parties. Even then, I don't know. I would not be the best version of myself if I don't know that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's going for a championship. Everybody's going to sacrifice time away from their family like I do. And if I don't feel that, I'm not signing. Close quote. Yes, and no, it is Monday, but I'll do it. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It is you. It's always been you. It'll always be you forever and ever. Amen. Now I am about to vomit. Now, what doesn't make me vomit is Kobe Bean Bryant. Oh, let me do it Rod Tanner way. Kobe Bryant. Yes, he will have a statue outside of Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as the Staples Center, and it will be erected outside of that downtown arena February the 8th of next year. The 17-time championship team announced plans this past week to honor Bryant, who's the 4th leading scorer in NBA history currently, and a beloved mainstay of the franchise for 2 decades. Bryant, and of course, and his daughter Giannis were unfortunately killed in a helicopter crash 3.5 years ago. Bryant participated in the initial planning for his statue after retiring back in 2016. And according to the Lakers, this would be a joint venture, or was a joint venture. He's the 6th former Lakers player and 7th team employee to be honored with such a distinction in the so-called Star Plaza outside of the arena, which has been the Lakers' home since 1999. Well, congratulations to the Bryant estate. And Kobe is one of the best lessons that you can learn from and learn about in terms of sacrifice, dedication, winning, and just perseverance, not settling for anything. So congrats to the Bryant clan. Congrats to Kobe. And it is an honor well deserved. It doesn't matter if it's the number 8 era or the number 24 era. And staying in the LA area, the Little League World Series comes to LA. Yeah, the El Segundo California squad, the 8th California team to do this, won off of a walk-off homer. Yes, a walk-off homer. It was a glorious thing. Tied game in the final inning of the Little League World Championship game. The shortstop Luis Lopi got up at the plate, and he sent the ball into left center field, and it barely went over the wall. Now the game was 5 apiece when Curaçao's team rallied, scored. I think they scored 5 runs in the 5th to tie it at 5, but they couldn't hold on. Well, in honor of that team, I'll just simply say, we left our heart in El Segundo. Left our heart in El Segundo. Left our heart in El Segundo. Gotta get it. I got to get it. And that concludes a break, a Fanatics Feedback Zone tour, and then we will get to Trey Lance trading one team to another, but the string stays the same. What do I mean? Back in 2.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Cause we take this job so serious. I'm sorry, I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God. Brother guest, I'm so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And Brother Gibbs will be here at the bottom. I'm sorry. And Ryan McCarthy will be here at the bottom of the first hour as we will go Coffee with McCarthy on Snowman in the Morning. And as promised, to the Fanatic Feedback Zone we head. And the first to greet us is Sick Dicky all the way from Norway. He does his vintage greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good afternoon to you, sir. And he says, survey set. I thought you'd get a kick out of that, Sick. My mentality brother, stuck in my mind's own Wise El Jefe, also of Papi J and Wise El Jefe fame as well. And new programming too. That's not for me to announce. That'd be for him to do that. And the Real Wise TV, I guess you could say the man in charge of Real Wise TV. He says, good morning. Good morning to you, brother. I hope everything's good with you. Sick Dicky, of course, coming with his ads. The Whip Around is brought to you by Daddy Joe's Rawhide Belts. The belts for chapping that hide raw. Daddy Joe's Rawhide Belts. Salute to Gary, Indiana. I'm going back to Indiana. I'm sorry. V like 8-3, Victor Locke, or Victor He says, good morning, one and all. Let's give it up for the genius behind Cole Sports with a Z, Mr. Cole Johnson. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the love, the warm greeting, and the Ed McMahon-ish style of intro. I appreciate that. And he says hello to the chat, to Wise and to Sick. And Sick, along with his ad, says, and cold-blooded ice cold, no, and cold-blooded iced coffee. The iced coffee that's cold-blooded. I'm sorry. To Kobe, V-Lock83 says, look, it still doesn't feel real that Kobe is gone. I still have a hard time saying posthumously Kobe Bryant or the late Kobe Bryant. I still have a hard time saying it. And amazingly, January will commemorate his 4th anniversary of dying. And it's like, wow, time flies by. 6 says, shout out to Tribe Called Quest. R.I.P. with Fife Dog, definitely. Definitely shout out to the Tribe, love Tribe. And Fife is one of my favorite MCs. Why says good morning to Vic and to Sick. And really? It's like that? Okay, well, thank you, sir. I might do that. Cool McCain of the Play Caller Sports Productions fame, Eagles Elite and Play Caller Sports. And look, check out this guy. The dude is one whale of a content creator who says, Call Sports with a Z. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And now, let me talk about, this was a subject, actually, that was teed up for one Brian Snow. Of course, as you all know, he is a 49ers fan, but since he's not here, I will try to do it justice. Trey Lance, who was chosen about a few years ago in the first round and was touted to be the guy to succeed Jimmy Garoppolo, was announced that he was going to be the the third stringer on the 49ers. And then number 5 of the 49ers decided, oh, let me get a trade. And the 49ers complied. And now Trey Lance is a Cowboy. Yes. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys pulled off a stunning trade over this past weekend and obtaining Lance from the 49ers squad for a 4th round draft pick, which would be just the thing to light a fire on social media with some fuel to bash on Dak. I'll get to that in a moment. The 49ers gave up 3 first-round picks and a 3rd round pick to move up 9 slots in the 2021 NFL draft to draft Lance, 3rd overall, and a little more even 2 years later. Or should I say, a little more, I should say. 2 years later, Kyle Shanahan said something about the team not even expecting to be able to 4th round draft pick for him. Well, as they say, one person's trash is another person's treasure. Well, I hate to say it in this case, and I'm not trying to be mean, Trey, but one team's trash is another team's trash when it comes to you because, sir, you have not stepped it up. When we can get footage of you air-mailing practice passes, that should be a sign that you got to work on your game. I mean, actually, before I do head out, we do have a Coffee McCarthy. Trey Lance, sit down, son. I know you probably were promised that this was going to be your 49ers, was going to be your team and that everything was going to be hunky-dory and you were going to have everything at your disposal once Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be an old man and stumble and stammer and trip over himself to his own finish line in his career. But now you're starting to see, sir, that it just isn't so because he's traded and you still couldn't get the 2nd string job. We have a guy in Sam Darnold who he has thrown multiple interceptions many times. We have a game where he said he saw ghosts and threw 5. And you couldn't beat him out. Oh, and then let's put more of a cherry on top of the sundae. How about Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant of last year's draft? And for those who don't know what Mr. Irrelevant means, Normally when a person gets dubbed this, he is the last pick in that particular draft. So Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, yet he beat your clock clean for the job and ended up being at the helm, taking this team to the conference championship game, where his dinged up wing, the first possession of that game, basically made it just null and void for them to advance further. But you, sir, couldn't get a sniff of the field. I know, yeah, you did play a few games, and it was, but you didn't improve. And I know you probably suffer from basically taking off 1 year due to the pandemic. I think you suffered even further from not getting the proper tutelage, I guess. I don't know. But what I do know within my heart, sir, is that you have a guy who wasn't even considered worthy enough to hold a clipboard beat you out. You were a you were a number 3 overall draft pick in an NFL draft. And you got beaten to a bloody pulp by a Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, it has to be. People are probably saying, well, you mean you're going to start? And then people this year were saying, well, you're going to start up a hurt Brock Purdy over Trey Lance? Mike, come on. I mean, Kyle. Come on, Kyle.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That's what 49ers fan was saying to him. But it looks like what he is saying to you all is the following. Dwayne.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And then when you all went further and saying, no, you got to start Lance. He is a much better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Shanahan said this to you too.
Shut up, bitch.
I don't blame him. If he would airmail passes in practice and he would throw touchdown passes and it would have to be out the clutches of a cornerback in order for him to get that touchdown, nah. And if he thought that he was going to be any higher in the depth chart and Dallas, come on, man, really. You got a guy who throws as many interceptions as games played, and he's the starter. And you got a guy that Cowboys fan will stroke their member over because he just simply reigns supreme in their hearts at Cooper Rush. And you all think that he's going I'm sorry. Yeah. You all think that this guy is going to be the one that's going to put fear in the hearts of Rain Dakota Prescott.
Bitch, please.
That's all I gotta say. But you all are saying to me that Dak Prescott should fear Trey Lance. You're saying the guy that you all Cowboys fan. Yes, you Cowboys fan. This guy that he held the Vince Lombardi trophy skyward 6.5 months ago. You're saying this guy, where Cowboys fan can't spell February right because February is spelled February. And obviously you don't know the calendar because in 2023, the Chiefs and the Eagles played the Super Bowl. As far as the Cowboys were concerned, they bowed out 2 rounds before then. And you are saying that this chump would be hoisting the the Vince Lombardi trophy this past February. And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled, "You Chumps Are the Most Delusional Individuals Not Named Bronzexuals." And before I step out, I have this to greet you all.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic black. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
Here to take you a little bit of the way before I actually return is the man known as the Playmaker, or Darnell Sallins, a.k.a. also the hardest working content creator I know, maybe for the exception of Cool McCain.
The funny thing is, Cool. I'm part of Cool's new project.
See,
Yeah.
what I tell you.
So I mean, the fact that you said that is like I'm part of his new project anyway. Do me a favor, go to break because
That's what I'm about to do.
Team USA just finished playing Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I was able to make it.
Okay.
But I want to dive into this Trey Lance trade to the Dallas Cowboys. And if Victor want to join me, I will show it like, because this is an interesting one, because they just had a heated debate on First Second Get Up about this, a very heated one.
Next thing you know, we'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers actually being worthy enough to be a quarterback to play in the NFL. We'll be right back right after this. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Carbon with McCarthy on the other side as well.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm in another lane. I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon and see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe,
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe. With the Playmaker, I am Cole Johnson, and before I do head on out for a second, I have a couple of greetings to make. Here we go. And now batting, the man who is so happy to see the Giants play, you don't have to think about the Yankees. Number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420. Was a lie told? I guess a lie wasn't told. Unfortunately, we can't hear you, sir.
Muted. twice.
Not told. A lie was not told.
Yeah.
Y'all
It's
got
good
me
to
and
see
Wise
you,
on a
man.
program together. It's going to be something now.
Yeah. And now it is time for us, as Wise normally does as well at times, take a sip of coffee. Now to join us as he does every bottom of every first hour, no credentials required zone, Ryan McCarthy. How you doing, sir?
Gentlemen, it's 10 more sleeps until the NFL season starts. Cole, please, if you could, before you leave, play that beautiful, beautiful praise music. Please.
Lord. Okay, fine. And I think that's how I'll exit, because you'll probably be hearing about a lot of Aaron Rodgers gushing between these three in the time that I'm going to be leaving. I'd be glad, because I do not want to deal with that ayahuasca sipping.
Working on the car at the moment.
I don't want to deal with that ayahuasca sipping, toe picking, darkness retreating space cadet.
But he's my space cadet.
Your time is 100% impeccable with that, man.
Hey, you set it up, I'm going to knock him down.
He definitely knocked that one out of the park. He definitely knocked that one out of the park.
It's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to happen.
And while I won't gush over what happened on Saturday with Aaron Rodgers playing 2 series for the Jets, and one of those series being a touchdown, I will say that I cannot wait for Monday night the 11th. Oh, it's gonna be so.
First of all, it's September 11th. First and foremost. Second of all, it's Aaron Rodgers' actual debut with the Jets.
I said September 11th because the Jets are playing the Bills on Monday night.
No,
That's
I'm throwing all the layers out here. Okay, I'm breaking down the layers of why this game is the way it is. September 11th, Aaron Rodgers' debut as a Jet is in New York. Well, that's New Jersey, by the way.
Hey, East Rutherford is a suburb of New York City. But go ahead.
And it's an AFC East divisional game right out the gate against the team who has owned the division for the last 2 years.
3.
You want to call it 3?
It's last 8. They're going for their 4th consecutive AFC East title.
I mean, there's a lot of layers into this game.
On
a very important day in the country.
Yes, a super important day in the country. Yeah, it's actually fitting that a New York-based team, a New York City-based team, will be playing on September 11th, and I'm glad it's the Jets because they haven't been on Monday night since the Ghost game, and they haven't been on prime time. That isn't an Amazon Prime game since I think that game.
I'm seeing those.
So I think it's important for the Aaron Rodgers era fittingly to start on Monday night in front of the nation. And please don't embarrass yourselves. Jets, go out there and do some good things. Please.
Well, the last time I will say this, and to I don't think Ryan want to hear this, but that's to my dismay too. The last time
power through it, Playmaker. Power through it.
The last time the Bills played on a primetime game opening week of the season, they destroyed a team out in L.A.
Well, that's
but that team in LA
their
is
problem.
trash.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Really was.
They're not trash.
Really?
Your team in LA not trash.
They're mid.
No.
They're mid
They
at
trash,
best.
my man. They trash.
No.
The best
Have
player
you
you
not
got
been?
is
Have you not been listening to what I've been saying? What's been going on with my team all last season?
It was trash last year.
We
They
had
won-
Debo.
They won. Listen, they won the Super
combination
Bowl,
of
and then they go and
offensive linemen in the
they
league.
suck and lay an egg. Oh, come on, man.
We was. Do you know how many injuries we had to suffer with?
Everybody suffers injury.
Everybody gets injuries. Jets had
Everybody
injuries
gets
too.
injuries.
I want to hear that.
I know, but when you
Jets
have
had
that
injuries,
offensive
too.
line,
Your team was trash, man. Your
consistently
team was just
rotating
trash.
week
Just-
after week.
Just
after
admit
week
your
after
team was
week.
trash.
So the Jets, and they still finished 7-10. Albeit 7 of the last 8 games.
That's
were
because your
losses,
offense couldn't get to 10 points.
That's because Mike LaFleur was a terrible offensive coordinator. He didn't know how to couldn't coordinate out of a paper bag. And now he's with the Rams. Interestingly enough,
That'll be my new offensive coordinator. But yeah, he ain't calling the plays. Sean McVay ain't calling the plays. We all know this.
So what y'all gonna win the division this year?
No.
Okay. I thought you was gonna see.
Everybody knows that.
I'm the same dude
everybody
who
knows
came
the
on here
49ers
and played
will win
Kurt Angle song about my Rams. Come on now.
You suck.
And Ryan damn near fell out of his seat when I did it. No, but the way the way this offseason went, the doors might be opening for a surprise team in the Los Angeles Rams because things went crazy this offseason. I'm like, okay, this might open some doors.
Yeah, but they had to shed a lot of salary too. They dealt Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins of all teams, and he's out till December, which means the Jets will not have to see him at all this year, at all.
Lucky Aaron Rodgers.
And then what? They let Bobby Wagner go back to Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, these things happen.
I'm just wondering which first round pick Leslie is gonna trade away for a premier player this year.
So far, don't sound like nothing right now.
So when's the next time they have a first round pick? By the way,
This draft coming up.
All right.
We have our first round pick back.
So they're not trying to pull
For
Lakers.
now.
They're not
For
trying
now.
to pull. They're not trying to pull LA Lakers and not have a first round pick until 2033.
I said for now. Never
now.
know it, Les Need.
Yeah.
Because he did do it, and we did capture the gold. Okay. That's
You
not
did-
to
you
say he
did.
might
You
not
did
do it
capture
again.
that. You did capture that 7 pounds of silver. That's true. But last year, oof.
Yeah,
Yikes.
we
It all started with that
Real-
Buffalo game.
reality
All started with
sunk in
that
last
Buffalo
year.
game.
We were beaten up.
So were the Jets, but they still managed
We
to.
were beaten up.
The Jets still managed to have the best top 5 offensive defense in the
They just didn't have no offense. Their offense
They
was
just didn't have any
trash.
offense because their offense was trash outside of Garrett Wilson. And if Breece Hall doesn't have his ACL torn in the Denver game,
You know what the funny thing is?
and Elijah Vera Tucker doesn't tear his tricep in the Denver same game.
You know what the funny
The
thing is,
season's
Ryan?
different. The season's different.
Even though our offense wasn't that good, if you took our offense and put it with your Jets defense, y'all be in the playoffs. Y'all would have been in the playoffs.
Oh, no doubt. I don't doubt that.
Because we at least put up points. We just couldn't.
Yeah,
We just couldn't stay
I understand I understand a lot of injuries, but it's next man up. It's next man up. But so, Playmaker, did you watch All In by chance?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch
You didn't?
all that.
Okay.
No, but I heard a lot about it.
You heard? Okay.
And
All
and I think what's happening is Tony Khan has built a great pro wrestling brand.
Mm-hmm.
But the entertainment part of it is the one that's lacking.
Outside of Chris Jericho, the goat.
It's Chris Jericho.
Yes,
The man has done it for like 3 decades.
And by the way, CM Punk, could you stop antagonizing the talent backstage? Did you hear about that? Got another fight with another talent.
You know the funny thing is about that? Everybody's pointing the finger at CM Punk, but the funny thing, if you actually paid attention, he ain't starting it.
Irrelevant.
Starting it.
Irrelevant. Stop it. Just stop, man.
CM Punk is one of the ones that I used to say when I was growing up. If you start something, you better finish good. If not, I'm gonna be the one to finish it. CM Punk ain't starting it. He's definitely finishing it.
Regardless, stop getting in fights with the talent backstage, man. You did it with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Now you're doing it with Jack Perry. Like, I don't care if you didn't start it.
What? I need to know what was Jack Perry's problem with CM Punk to begin with, because he wasn't even fighting Jack Perry. He was fighting Samoa Joe.
It had to do with there was a match a couple of weeks ago that I guess he was going on vacation right after, and he wanted it to be real glass or something. And Punk told him they don't do glass here. This is Collision. And then I guess in the match with Hook yesterday, they was using real glass. And he goes, I guess during the match, he goes, see, look, real glass.
So he went to the show that is basically CM Punk's when you talking about Collision. Talking about glass. Yet you had a pay-per-view, which is a whole different show. Matter of fact, a more bigger show than anything. Matter of fact, I think All In's their biggest pay-per-view.
It's their biggest pay-per-view so far.
Is there a WrestleMania?
Is there WrestleMania? And Tony Khan said that they're going to bring it back next year too.
Yeah, I know.
And
they're planning on doing back to back again.
Next week,
yeah, All Out.
All Out is next week in Chicago.
Oh Lord, you know CM Punk. If they do All Out without CM Punk, Chicago gonna riot.
The drama is just old. He just needs to stop.
It is, but you know,
he just seems like he's always trying to make himself into the news, into the dirt.
But I would give AEW this. They are giving pro wrestling fans what they want: exciting wrestling. The problem is there's a lack of storytelling.
It's the lack of story. It's a lot of action, but a lack of storytelling. I like the story build with MJF and Adam Cole. I like that story build. It needs to keep going. There needs to be a great finish. There needs to be a great finish somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there's gonna be a great finish somewhere. I just hope it's not a deflating ending. Like, it needs to be long term. It needs to go past. It needs to go past All Out, and it needs to go into the new year. I think this long term story build.
So now this is what people need to understand, because when it comes to WWE, they are telling a tremendous story. Especially with the Bloodline.
Oh, the Bloodline is a great storyline.
It's a storytelling process, and there is so many layers and ways they can go with this story. Even now.
Yeah. Did Tony Khan not take narrative in college?
His brother works for WWE. You don't think they had conversations?
I'm pretty sure they did, but it was probably under the radar.
It's like WWE tell story. Now the matches, I get AEW.
So, some of the stories work out. The Bloodline has worked out. Chef's kiss. Perfect storyline. Some of these storylines have ended way too soon, though. Like, they fizzle out after like 2 weeks, and then they switch over to another thing.
Now the focus is on the Judgment Day, because we don't know what's going to happen with them.
I'm kind of curious as to see how that turns out. I have a feeling. My prediction.
We know who the ringleader is.
I have a very bold prediction, though. I'm pretty sure everybody has this prediction, but I'm going to make it so on this program. Finn Balor will win a title. Well, probably win the next. Will probably be the next heavyweight championship. Because, good Lord, how many championships does that promotion need for world championships? So Finn Balor will win it.
When you have the Tribal Chief dominating the way he's been dominating for 3 years.
Well, Balor will win it, and what's his face will cash in.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest will cash in, and he'll be out of the Judgment Day. They'll bring in JD McDonough, which is basically Finn Balor's cousin, because they look a lot alike, and that'll be a new rivalry, yeah. But I like to see what they would do with the men's tag team division, because there doesn't seem to be a storyline with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. There's no real rivalry that they have right now. I'd like to see something happen with them.
I think their next rivalry is gonna be with the New Day. That's why the New Day is back.
I agree.
Because we seen what happened with the Usos.
Oh yeah. Jimmy and Jay are gonna be. They're gonna be at WrestleMania. They're gonna meet at WrestleMania.
I think they might be their final match. That's what they wanted to do.
Yeah. They said that for years.
You have, Alpha Academy. You have. This is the interesting part. I wonder if they're gonna put the title on Chad Gable.
I think that would be a great payoff.
Because Gunther, I think Gunther's just about broken the record. If not, he probably got like another week to go.
Let's do some real-time research. Longest Intercontinental Championship reigns.
Yeah. I think he got about like a week or two left because I know he's very close to breaking it. He don't got that much longer to wait.
Let's see. Pedro Morales held the title for.
It should be a Honky Tonk Man should be.
Well, Honky Tonk Man held it for 454 days, so it's very close. And Gunther or Walter, I still call him Walter. 443 days.
So yeah, he got about like a week or 2 weeks left.
Yeah, he's got about a week and a half left, and then I think he drops it to Gable, which would be a great storyline because Chad Gable's a worker. That dude deserves a title.
I agree with you on that.
Nice.
And the fact that he's in with Otis and
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine is that stable is hysterical. You hear when you hear the music, shush. You know it's gonna be a good time.
You know what it is he's consistent in the ring, and he's hilarious behind the mic. He's developed and grown behind the mic. He's always had the wrestling ability.
Yeah,
it's now he's actually got a character he can really sink his teeth into, and because that Shorty G character was why I think this fits him a little bit more, and so that's why he's having such a great run right now. I think this might be his best run in WWE ever.
It is his
because you know why? Because Vince McMahon's out of the way, and with Triple H at the helm, head of creative, he can help develop those characters better. I think because he's a little bit younger. I think he's the one who signed Chad Gable, if I'm not mistaken.
Might have.
Because he would have brought him into development with NXT and then gone up to the next level.
I hate to do this, but I need to bring this up because I wasn't on here. I will say that Snowman, Wise, and Code did a nice show Friday, talking about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
and Friday Night SmackDown happened. They had to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown, Triple H, everybody, y'all did a great job with that. Short notice.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's just short notice. It's like you have to realize Hall of Famer Terry Funk died on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Then like less than 24 hours later on a Thursday, you get the Bray Wyatt news.
Yeah. And
the very next night is SmackDown.
Yeah, Bray was active talent, so that's probably why he got the flowers that he deserved. And Terry Funk was kind of secondary because he wasn't active with WWE. But I like the fact that they brought it.
The next night is SmackDown.
Yes. But I also I like the fact that they brought in Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan.
I love that.
And it's sad that two of the Wyatt family members have passed on. John Huber, a.k.a. Luke Harper, and Bray Wyatt. They've both passed, unfortunately, due to heart conditions. But I like that they brought them in and they had them up front by Sister Abigail's chair. And I also liked LA Knight's promo as well before his match. How he paid tribute to Bray Wyatt.
The way he ended that promo.
Run.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. LA Knight understands it.
He gets it. He gets it. And if he doesn't have a title, if he doesn't have a title by the end of the year, I will be utterly confused.
Yeah, I loved it, that part. He went full Bray Wyatt.
And I don't mean like a world championship title or a universal title. I mean just a title, period, like the U.S. championship or Intercontinental championship, like individual title.
I love how they ended SmackDown.
Did you see Seth Rollins paid tribute during a house show?
Yeah, somebody posted it on Instagram.
Yep.
I love how they ended SmackDown. You did the opening part of Bray Wyatt's entrance. You let everybody bring out the flies.
Yep.
You have the lantern in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a picture of Bray Wyatt in the ring.
Yep.
That was a beautiful ending to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I don't think people understand. They had 2 deals in back-to-back days, and then you had a show the very next day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you get ready for that.
I don't know how you get ready for that either. Because if it were me, I'd be like, give me the night off. Give me the night off. But
because I'm pretty sure they had something.
But pro wrestlers have a different mentality than
set. I think they had something set for Terry Funk.
They did.
But Bray Wyatt happened the very next day. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. I mean,
and then it's like,
if it were me, I would have requested the night off. But pro athletes and pro wrestlers in particular are they're a different breed. They're a different breed. I mean, back in '79 when
show must go on.
Yeah, I mean, you remember this, Wise? Back in '79 when Thurman Munson died in that plane crash.
Yeah,
they were at the funeral. That afternoon, they flew back and played against the Orioles and won that game. They still played after the funeral.
Because they knew Thurman Munson would want them to play. So it's a different thing because knowing Bray Wyatt, I'm sure he would have wanted them to continue. It wasn't a situation. It wasn't like the situation with Owen Hart, which was complete. This one, he was aware. He was already away. He was already sick. So it's devastating because he was such a talent, and who knows where his storyline would have been going because he was supposed to be coming back soon.
Yeah.
And to me, LA Knight did one of the best. When LA Knight spoke on it, it was to me, you could see that he really respected the time he had with Bray because
that was Bray's last program was with LA Knight.
was LA Knight, yeah.
But yeah, it's different. I think, did they do the same thing for Eddie Guerrero?
Oh boy.
Oh, they had Eddie's show was
that was on Monday Night Raw.
But they didn't do it. They didn't do it for Chris Benoit. That's for sure.
No, but that's
because of the nature. That's because
of
the nature of
this whole situation. Like at first, because even when they found out he was dead, they didn't know the whole situation till later on. So they got because people dogged them about.
Remember back then, it wasn't no Twitter and
it was different. It was different.
No, there was no social media back then. It was 2007.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah.
So, but like that's what China gets me with people when they say, "Oh, they didn't do enough." You have to realize they went from Terry Funk down on a Wednesday, Bray Wyatt down on a Thursday, and you had SmackDown on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
In consecutive days.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go, gentlemen, in just a minute or two, but I just want to get your opinions because I'm working on a series right now on Belly Up Sports. I'm finally getting back to writing articles. I'm working on ceilings and floors for NFL teams in 2023, and I want to hear what your ceilings and floors are for your prospective teams. Just briefly. Wise, I'll start with you. What's your ceiling and floor for the Giants?
What's my ceiling for the Giants? Oh
ceiling
man,
and floor, yeah, for wins.
Ceiling. I actually think they can win 11 games. People might think I'm crazy, but I think they can win 11 games.
No, because I have them at 11 too.
They've improved in every aspect that they needed to improve, and they just fleeced Arizona in the Isaiah Simmons trade.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I
Can
gotta
they turn
admit,
him, I want
that-
to see them turn him back into a linebacker. That was a
Bro,
huge mistake the
well, you
Cardinals
see-
made by converting him into a Why converting him into a safety when you have his linebacker
he almost had
accomplishing
your-
skills?
He almost had your boy yesterday.
on the
game.
first play of the game.
He almost had your boy. Almost.
But he read it.
was
He
like-
read it. Smoke.
And right after that play, I went on social media. I said, Isaiah Simmons might be the difference on the Giants defense.
Well, you got to look at it. I look at it as he's in the right system with the right defensive coordinator. He is so
He's not
talented.
he's not a trash pelican in Arizona.
He's not, and he's so talented that you can move him around. Like in Wings defense, you have to be versatile.
Mhm.
So to now have Isaiah Simmons, Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari on the, and then that defensive line is crazy.
Yeah.
You added Nacho. Riley's a big surprise. Nobody thought he would be as good as he's been. Our two cornerbacks that we drafted, they're playing well. So I just feel we can win 11 games. We're definitely going to be much more competitive. Our offense is going to be much more competitive than we were in previous years, because now year 2, Daniel Jones to me is going to step up, because now he has someone he has a coach. He finally has someone that believes in him, because they want to listen. Dable and Shane wouldn't have signed off on that contract if they didn't believe that he was capable of leading this team.
Yeah. All right, Playmaker. What's your floor for the Giants, though?
My floor? Oof. The worst they could do, I feel, is probably 7-10.
Okay. All right, Playmaker. What about you? What about your Rams?
As of right now, I did already up to week 14, and I have the Rams sitting at 8-5 right now.
Optimistic.
Like I said, the offseason changed a lot of stuff, because I'm like, well, then people getting hurt on different teams, and they're on our schedule. How nice.
I have their ceiling at 10 and their floor at 7.
So pretty much, you probably be right. We most likely gonna be right around the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Because I only got 4 more weeks to preview, and I'm pretty sure I'll be somewhere around the 10-11 range.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get two articles up per day for the next for this week before the season starts, and they'll have my ceilings and floors. I'm pretty sure people will either be, yeah, that's spot on, or they'll be big mad, and I don't care.
I would
if
say
they're
this:
big mad. That's my opinion.
the floor for the Rams will probably be the same record as last year.
7-10, 6
5-12.
5-12. Okay.
Because we do have a very young defense.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Before you leave, so I know Cole mentioned it earlier. So for Real Wise TV, I'm looking for more original programming. I'm looking for a sports show. Also, and so if you know anyone interested in doing a sports show and working with me on creating a sports show, let me know.
This is my thinking stroke, Wise. So we'll see. I'll hit you up. We'll talk.
Definitely. This is to both of y'all. So if y'all know anyone who's wanting to get into sports or looking to do a sports show, I'm working on one. So.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I gotta bounce. As always, Snowman Cole, thanks for having me. See you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
Peace. Are you gonna leave? You still there?
Oh, I'm leaving. Hold on. Hold your horses. All right. Talk to you guys later.
You still here? Ryan McCoffey. As always, Monday mornings during the bottom of the first hour, going into the second hour. As Cole Johnson is away, Snowman said he was on, but he didn't pop in yet.
I don't know. I can't see.
No, he put in the chat earlier that he was on, but he never popped in.
Oh, okay.
To the stream yet. So while we still going on, real quickly, I'm gonna real quickly throw this out there. USA has gone 2-0 in the FIBA World Cup play. They had beaten Greece by the final score. Let me see if I can pull it back up. I believe it's like 101 to 81.
I got a question though. I got a question.
Yeah.
And it is not with Team USA. Did anyone expect RJ Barrett to be playing the way he's been playing?
You know, it's something different with guys that play for their home country.
This is the RJ Barrett I need to see during the regular season. This is the RJ Barrett I need to see.
Like Luka's out here dropping 35 points a game right now.
Listen, this is the RJ Barrett I need to see during the regular season. He is playing phenomenal for Team Canada. He helped them set an assist record that they had held previously with I think Serbia. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, my boy's playing lights out. He needs to keep playing like that during the regular season, and then I'll be happy.
Yeah. Final score was USA 109, Greece 81.
Was Giannis not playing? Is he?
No, Giannis is not playing. Most of the main stars are not playing. They waiting for the Olympics, which is pretty much the next summer.
Okay.
But so that's why a lot of Luka's playing. Look at this little balling. Luka literally loves to play basketball.
All right.
Like when they say they love to play basketball, Luka literally means it. Like I don't think Luka takes time off from basketball.
No, I don't think so either. But I think that's how a lot of them are. That's how a lot of ballers are. They'll take a couple of weeks off and they're right back to ball and they'll go find summer leagues and all these other places to go play.
But I want to get that in real quick. I'll be doing a recap after I do this, like I did when they played Saturday, when they opened up group play. But USA, they look poised and ready to go to the
I'm actually excited about this team, man. It's like so many guys are balling. Of course.
And here's the thing. What? A lot of people when they saw the team, they were mad. They
said this team was gonna be trash. They said this team was gonna be trash.
Stop looking for the superstars.
That's what they were looking for. And we've got
superstar don't need to play everything.
We got players that are emerging as superstars. Jalen Brunson is emerging as a superstar. Anthony Edwards is here.
You know who the fan favorite is on Team USA? Austin Reeves.
And he's playing well as well.
So I'll keep trying to tell people: if we supposed to be the most dominant country that we are, these guys should be able to go in there and handle business without having any superstar present.
But the thing different. Okay, it doesn't matter about superstar. This team is actually playing like a team,
and this team is well put together.
Oh no, they're deep everywhere.
Like when Grant Hill and Steve Kerr got together, they put a well-balanced team together.
They did.
You have everything you need in the game of basketball, probably except for maybe height and size. That's about it.
Yeah, but they're athletic. They're still athletic enough to still handle that height. Like, there's no one that's really going to bully them because Anthony Edwards is still a beast. You're not pushing them around. Mikal Bridges and the Brooklyn boys, Cam Thomas, and they're playing well, even though they had a shitty first game.
It's in that second unit. I love how Steve Kerr put his second unit together. You got Halliburton, you got Reeves, you got Pablo Banchero at the 5. And they are out here taking charge when they get on the court.
No, they're playing great. They're playing great, man. They're
And their first game, they started a struggle, and it was a struggle. You was down 10 within 5 minutes. That second unit came in and they turned everything around.
But like the team before the redeeming team, that team would have probably choked. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this team is a young squad that it doesn't matter if they're down a lot, they still believe that they can come back and win the game. That's the difference.
And then today, first team played good. They played better. The second unit came in, blew it open.
I think it's gonna be an interesting FIBA finals. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what two teams make it. Of course, USA, but this is gonna be interesting to see.
Canada
Canada's looking good. Canada's looking good. They're 2-0 as well.
The fact that Luka's playing for Slovenia, you can't count them out because
No,
he's
you
not going to
cannot.
drop in 35 points a game.
Yeah, but who he drop it against?
I know that, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying who he drop. He
it's
ain't,
Luka.
yeah, but he's not gonna drop that like on Team Canada or USA. These teams are different.
You can't count out. You never count out Spain. Never count
Spain, yeah. Even Puerto Rico has a nice solid squad.
And then Germany.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. There's some good teams out there.
Now the interesting part is for France because they did get eliminated already. But
there's not this besides Wimpy. There's not really and who else?
But you talking about going into the Olympics, the possibility of Rudy Gobert,
yeah,
Victor Wembanyama,
yeah,
and Joel Embiid.
Oh, he's gonna play for France.
That's most likely what is going to happen. That's what it's looking like right now.
Well, who's running the point?
Right now, they point guard I think is Evan Fournier right now.
Evan Fournier.
Yeah, he's still playing. He's still playing with France.
And they didn't bring my boy. The hell's his name? The hell is that point guard that Knicks drafted and let wait? They could have had Donovan Mitchell when they drafted his ass.
Oh, you talking about Frank Ntilikina?
Yeah, Frank. Yeah,
and Stephen Nate. That might have been the only time I really saw Stephen A. wanted to cry.
You had a chance at Donovan Mitchell and you get in draft Frank Ntilikina. Who the hell? Who? We didn't know who he was.
Ain't nobody know who he was.
Listen, I'm happy with this new regime because they actually, with the exception of trading Obi this offseason, and I understand why they did it because you have Julius ahead of him and he wasn't gonna get the burn.
I mean, you asking RJ Barrett to step up. I need Julius Randle to step up.
I need him to step up in the playoffs. Not in the yeah, it's great you can do 25 and 10 and 5 in the regular season, but I need that in the playoffs.
But man, jeez, I know we get on James Harden and all the other superstars a lot about not showing up in the pub. Jalen Brunson needed help.
Listen,
and the man who's supposed to be running New York, he ain't show up.
He didn't. He didn't. So that's why I'm saying if I get the RJ that's playing right now in the FIBA tournament, if I get that RJ and Julius finally steps up, and of course we have a full season of Josh Hart, and if Quigley step up, there's a lot of ifs, man. But that's with every team. Like you always go in with questions and stuff like that.
I think I need to apply some pressure on Julius Randle.
Somebody needs to apply something to him. We need him to step up and do what he got to do.
Because we need something from him. Why is you could be salty, but guess what? Your Cowboys made headlines again.
Bro, so
they traded for Trey Lance. And everybody's like, and come to find out, Jerry Jones didn't consult with Dak or Mike McCarthy to do it.
First of all, you don't have to consult with Dak. Dak is just a quarterback. He's just an employee. You ain't got to consult with him. Now, the head coach is something different. Because you got to see if he can work with Trey Lance. So that I don't understand. But I ain't consulting an employee. Even though Mike McCarthy's an employee as well, I would think that you would respect the head coach a little bit more and be like, hey, we're thinking about trading for Trey Lance. What do you think? But that's how much they respect Mike McCarthy in Dallas.
And that's the thing. That's what they was getting into on first take because Molly and Dan was like, where's their respect for McCarthy and Dak?
Listen, again, they don't owe Dak anything. Dak hasn't performed. He hasn't produced. He's not. Yeah, acting like he's Troy Aikman or somebody. He hasn't brought when he's on the field, he hasn't brought anything. 4 playoff wins, 4-10. This is what Dallas's record is in the playoffs. Whatever, how many?
And that was Stephen A. point. Stephen A. was like, maybe Jerry Jones is just tired.
Tired of losing.
Maybe he need to shake some things up. Because you haven't produced for me. You haven't even got me to an NFC Championship game.
Not even close.
You've been bounced out of the playoffs the last 2 times by the San Francisco 49ers. And both times Dak Prescott did not look well.
You was bounced by Mr. Irrelevant last year.
And Ryan Clark thing is, if this is the case, that shouldn't even be worried. It's Trey Lance. We don't even know nothing about Trey Lance because he didn't work out in San Francisco, even though he was a first-round draft pick. Mr. Irrelevant beat him out in San Francisco.
Exactly. And then you're going to trade for him.
Ryan Clark's like, that should be able to come in and be like,
you know who should feel slighted? Cooper Rush. That's who should feel slighted. Like, damn, man, did I show you I could be a quality backup if Dak gets hurt?
That's a good point.
Like, he kept them afloat when Dak went down last year.
Because matter of fact, I only think Cooper Rush played against the Raiders. I think Real Grizz played from start to finish, and Real Grizz played a hell of a game against the Las Vegas Raiders.
And now look, you get rid of Will Greer for Trey Lance. And you get him for a 4th-round pick.
A 4th-round pick.
And then my thing is, like, at least with Will Greer, you have tape on him. You have 1 year tape on Trey Lance in college. In college, that's it.
You ain't got no NFL tape on him.
None. At least Will Greer, you got some tape on him.
So we still don't know whether Trey Lance can play the game of football or not.
Listen, it's the Dallas Cowboys, man. What else do you expect? Like, did we expect any different from Dallas Cowboys?
Nah, to be honest, it was kind of ironic because John Lynch was in the booth talking about, oh, we want Trey Lance here. And,
John Lynch was probably
then the very next day he gets traded to Dallas. The very next day after the game,
John Lynch was probably thinking like, who can I call? I messed up. I lost 3 first-rounders, but I got to get something. I got to recoup something back. Who can I call that might be willing to give up at least a 4th-rounder? Oh, let's call Dallas. We've beaten them the last 2 years. Maybe they might want some of our mojo.
Victor, it's your team.
Victor, it would be something if I was lying. If I was lying up here, and I've been stating facts, Victor. I haven't been lying. I haven't said anything that's not true.
And this is what amazes me: the Cowboys are worth the most in team sports, and they haven't had a championship.
Bro, the last 4 years, Dallas has had the most wins in the NFL, right? The most wins. What has that brought them? Not a damn thing. Nothing. Nothing. They haven't improved anything. They could keep winning all those regular season games they want. But when it comes to playoff times, we know what they do.
And just for the record, stay away from the NFC West because when y'all face the NFC West in the playoffs, y'all don't do well.
See? Exactly.
They worth $9 billion and there's nothing to show for it.
Listen, when I posted that meme about the video cassette showing Dallas Dallas Super Bowl highlights, right? That was the last time they won anything.
That was a cold post too. I remember that. I was on my floor laughing. It's like, wow, Ron went all the way there. The last time the Cowboys were relevant, it was on a VSA tape. I'm like, wow.
Well, it's the truth.
He went to VCR. That's how long it's been.
Be like, I'm not coming for you, Vic. Vic, I was actually defending you last week. I wasn't the only one piling on you last week. Pause. But
Oh no, he got it. He got it from me last week. Oh, he got it from me. Hey, I went in. I'm sorry.
But yeah. Vic, if I'm lying, Vic, hey, but everything I said has been facts.
I mean, think about it. Dak Prescott coming off his worst season as a professional.
And Vic, it's maybe it's not you. You're not that Dallas Cowboy fan. I know that, but the majority of your fans are. So that's why y'all get attacked the way y'all do, because a lot of them are delusional.
Minor Republic of Cowboys Nation.
Yeah, a lot of them are delusional.
Cole is back. Cole Johnson is back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What you think about the trade for Trey Lance? Did that affect Dak Prescott in any way since he wasn't consulted?
Bishop Bullwicker, I think you can answer this question. Please answer Playmaker for me, please.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
The fact they actually think that Dak Prescott should be worried and scared because Trey Lance is now a Cowboy, please.
That was the heated discussion on first take. This should be enough respect for Dak Prescott to tell him that Jerry Jones was going to take this move. Stephen A. Ryan was like, "This is a business. Huh? You gotta consult them if you don't want to."
He is an employee. He's an employee.
Yes.
I don't need to consult you. Like you're not, again, you are not Troy Aikman. You have not delivered the goods. Okay? And Vic, I'm not attacking you. I'm just stating facts. He has not delivered the goods. So he could feel slighted if he want. If I'm Jerry Jones, I don't give a damn because you are an employee. I don't need to run anything by you. And if you keep playing the way you playing, and I might not have no other choice but to move on from you. So
but the thing is, though,
we're talking about a guy we don't have any NFL film on.
But the
we
thing
don't even
is,
know if he can play.
But the thing is, should they move on, it wouldn't be the Trey Lance, it would be the Cooper Rush.
That's who I would look at because he actually played well.
Yeah.
And
he played 6 games and only lost 1 of them. I'm thinking, okay, they have their backup, and if Dak were to really go on an interception tirade, Cooper Rush would be the guy that would be fitting him under center. Now you might raise a good point, Cool. It might be this is a move for the future. That might be the case. But if I was Gerald, I would still want to have Rush up in there because how could you trust
someone who has no tape?
Right. How can you trust what little footage you do have? You're saying to yourself, "Oh, this guy is still possibly college level in not necessarily experience, but in ability." Thank you, Wise. Why? Why would I risk wanting to put somebody with much less experience in there versus somebody who I got a chance to see him play on an NFL field in the regular season, and he won me games. In fact, he was the reason why we were able to get to the playoffs because he won almost half of our games under center.
And he did, and you know what he does that he did that Trey Lance doesn't do? He doesn't turn the ball over.
Doesn't make mistakes.
Doesn't turn the ball over. Trey Lance is he had more interceptions than touchdowns. Whatever it was. He was horrible. He was not not a starting quarterback caliber. So listen, John Lynch just looked found the trade partner that he can at least fleece a 4th round out of. He wasn't going to get any first rounders for Trey Lance. So he like, let me see who's out there that's going to give me something. Because if I was Dallas, I would have did something like what the Giants did. I would have offered the 7th rounder. Like, take that. If you want to get rid of him so bad, here's the 7th rounder.
I still find that funny though.
I love it.
Just the day before he was in the booth talking about he wanted Trey Lance still there. The very next day after the game, he straightened it out. I'm like, really?
What can you say? This is what happens. It's business. It's business, gentlemen.
What makes me laugh though is people actually believe that Dak Prescott should be scared because Trey Lance is now on the team. Really?
Again.
Really?
We're talking about delusional Cowboy fans. Not you, Victor. Not you. Not Ben.
As Victor would put it, the Mononic Republic of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, that
Mononic Republic of Cowboys Nation.
Which is like 99% of Cowboy fans.
That was 4% as smart as I don't know what.
Ryan says, oh my gosh. I really can't disagree with the Wise on that. Ryan says, Trey Lance needed an additional season at North Dakota State, plus a possible season as a transfer to a Power 5 team to develop himself as an NFL quarterback. And I really believe that does hurt him. The fact that he did not have all the seasoning necessary before he even got to NFL, and he's got very little in terms of tutelage beyond it, or he's gotten it and he hasn't taken to it, whatever the case may be.
And listen, and you have an offensive-minded coach and Kyle Shanahan, right? Who
yes,
took
you do.
Mr. Irrelevant and made him a starter.
He did.
So how is it that Brock Purdy, who supposedly doesn't have the talent that Trey Lance has, can figure out the system and run the system the right way?
By the way, I'm gonna let y'all understand this. Trey Lance went in the first round from North Dakota State. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant from Iowa
State.
He played, at least he played in the Power Conference.
That's my point.
And didn't he start all 4 years at Iowa State?
Yeah. And he had my man Brees Hall back there with him.
That's right.
And guess what? His senior year, his last year at Iowa State, he wasn't turning the ball over.
And that's just what's key. You know he doesn't turn the ball over. You know Trey Lance. It's not Trey Lance's fault. It's not. He got drafted. That's he can't blame him for entering the draft. Whoever was the advisors did this young man dirty because he still wasn't prepared for the NFL. He had one good year. He had one great year in college, and everybody like hyping him up. But he wasn't playing.
Never playing a player.
I'm not saying
you put your name in there and you find out you can be a first round pick. I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone. I can't blame him for that. I blame the people around him who set him up for failure by not letting this man go and get another year season. Because it's just crazy that 1 year you're not even in a power conference school and you're the number 3 pick and you give up 3 first rounders to make this pick. If it wasn't for the fact that John Lynch had made other trades that were great for like fleecing the Panthers for Christian McCaffrey and all that. If it wasn't for that fact, then I think John Lynch would have been gone, because this was even worse than the biggest bust of all time.
See, here's the thing. If he didn't hit on Brock Purdy with the last pick of the draft. Now, how often does somebody hit on the last pick of the draft?
Not very.
Not often. Not
Y'all two been catching the NFL more than I have because y'all older than me. When is the last time Mr. Relevant became a star?
It's been a minute. It's been a good minute.
Yeah.
I mean, because the last player, and he wasn't even Mr. Relevant. He was even worse than that. He basically came off of the free agent heap, and he was stocking cans at the grocery store. The last time I remember a story similar to that of a Brock Purdy would be Kurt Warner, and we're talking 1999. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Now there have been low draft picks that have worked and have done damage. I mean, heck, Tom Brady obviously is the biggest of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. Irrelevant and lower, very few. Very few.
Unless you got walk-ons, you got Wayne Cabret wasn't drafted. Was
right. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't even a thought on the Jets and ended up being one of the greatest Jets of all time.
Mm-hmm.
There are players that don't get drafted, and they become wonderful. They become wonderful players in the NFL. There are some stories, but Wayne Cabret went to Hofstra.
Yeah,
Hofstra and North Dakota State are two different things. I'm sure Hofstra plays a little bit more time. Like, it's just, to me, I don't know if they're sending Dak a message, because if they were trying to send them a message, it was just a terrible message, because I'm not afraid of Trey Lance.
I have a guy who played in a monsoon in his first ever start in the NFL, and his second start was against the Seattle Seahawks, and he broke his ankle within 3 plays in the game. That's it. That's all film. Oh, Trey Lance.
Yeah, they do. You're right. Cool. The 49ers do deserve. They didn't do their research, man. They just went off the hype.
And not only that, they also panicked off of what they saw Garoppolo seeing as though, yeah, he did the year before take them to the Super Bowl, but the year before they drafted Trey Lance, Garoppolo missed a whole ton of games with injury. So they're like, okay, we got to fill this spot.
Yeah, listen,
and they got desperate.
There was no question that Garoppolo's injury prone. He's always, it's like this one injury after another with Garoppolo. So yeah, you eventually have to move on from that. I understand, but
it's what they gave up to get to that.
Yes, that's why to me he might go down as the biggest bust in NFL history because of what you gave up for him. See, not even Ryan Leaf.
That will forever be Jamarcus Russell to me.
No,
and nobody can do to change that. I'm sorry.
No,
Ryan Leaf.
See, I ain't see Ryan Leaf, so I don't.
Exactly. Ryan Leaf is. Believe me, Ryan Leaf is a whole lot worse than Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell was just fat and lazy.
See, that's my problem though, because when I watched him at LSU,
that's different.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What happened after LSU and getting drafted into your first year in the NFL? What happened in between?
You know what's so funny? You say that.
He's at the buffet line too often.
I just got finished watching a documentary about Johnny Football. Dude was lining up at Texas A&M.
Yes,
but he was a human tackling dummy when he got to the Browns.
See, I know his problem. He wanted to do what he did to Alabama. He thought he can do it in the NFL because everybody want to consider Alabama like a professional team in college.
You know, sometimes you just can't explain it. That sometimes you just have college quarterbacks,
they're great in college,
and they're great in college.
Hands down, he was great in college. There was no debate about that.
Yeah, none.
He was box office.
There was there's just players, once they get to the NFL, it's a different animal. Everybody, you got people faster, stronger. This is not like,
and they're faster, stronger, and bigger.
Yeah, and if you're on an NFL team, you're one of you have talent because you're not making the NFL roster if you don't have talent.
Right. I'll put it like this: everybody who's a dual threat quarterback after Michael Vick, you weren't going to succeed because defensive coordinator, defensive player realized, yo, we ain't gonna let a quarterback run around and make us look stupid every play.
But Michael Vick was different, man. Michael Vick was different.
Yeah,
that's my point. I'm saying when Michael Vick came to the league, he made defenses look ridiculous. Everybody after that, defense wasn't having it no more.
Yet you still have a lot of these teams drafting quarterbacks who were styled after Michael Vick.
But the difference is Michael Vick had a cannon of an arm.
Along with the athleticism, yes. He can wing the ball 70 yards and not blink.
Yeah. So Michael Vick was doing stuff on the field that were amazing that you didn't see from a running quarterback.
Right.
So it's not like he was a much more athletic Randall Cunningham with speed to boot and a cannon of an arm.
Yeah. Now, Victor, what I'm saying is Michael Vick is the reason why these other quarterbacks have not been succeeding.
Then you all right. So you had Cam Newton, 2015 campaign, Lamar Jackson's 2019 campaign.
They won MVPs.
They were MVPs that year. They were. Cam Newton won MVP in 2015, and Lamar Jackson won MVP in 2019.
They won MVPs, but when the moment arrived.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about Vic at Atlanta.
Yeah.
When the moment arrived, he didn't sniff the Super Bowl.
No, he didn't.
I mean, he was dynamic, yes.
What Lamar Jackson's going through is what Vic went through. Can't stay healthy.
Okay, but yes. But now. Well, because in Atlanta, who did Vic really have in Atlanta? Like,
not much.
He loved Algie Crumpler.
He had Jamal
and
Anderson.
Jamal Anderson early on, and he had Roddy White.
Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have went through what he went through, he would have had Julio Jones.
Yeah. At Vic's prime, Julio Jones would have been on the team. Yeah. And man, if Vic was this, if the Vic in Philadelphia was in Atlanta, ooh.
Wait, Julio Jones and Roddy White.
If we thought that Vic was the man in the mid 2000s, and he would have the ability to basically be like a Steve Young, only even more athletic, one where he could break down the defense with his legs and he could tear up a defense with his arm, man. Seriously, Vic would be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
All right, Cole. They officially named your starting quarterback, which doesn't surprise a lot of people. That shouldn't have took this long to say it.
You thought CJ Stroud wasn't gonna start?
No, I'm saying it shouldn't have took this long for them to say it. We knew it.
Everybody knew it. It wasn't like a big surprise. They knew he was going to be the starter. It was. They didn't draft him. They didn't draft him not to start him.
So you have two rookies quarterbacking in your division.
Yeah,
yours being one of them. Who has the highest ceiling rookie season, Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud?
Anthony Richardson. Just for the simple case that I think there are better pieces around him, although slightly.
Yeah, you had
CJ Stroud.
That's if they keep Taylor. That's if they keep Taylor.
Yeah, and thank you. And it's contingent if they can keep Jonathan Taylor, because although I love Dameon Pierce, because the dude runs like a doggone beast, and I love the fact he's an angry runner. to me,
I know. You know what school he came from?
Florida, but you just simply can't beat a guy who led the league in rushing, and did it, did it in 2021. So Jonathan Taylor is that man. So I would say the bigger the quicker upside goes to Richardson because he has better pieces around him.
Wise, you agree?
Okay, it depends, man. He does because he doesn't have in Houston. Who does he have to throw to? Like they traded Brandon Cooks.
The best reliable target they have is thank you, Vic, Schultz. Tight end that was a Cowboys.
The Cowboys. Okay.
Yeah, tight end was the Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be his best target right now.
Okay. And that's the tight end, right? And it's
tight end.
And it's not like he's a tight end that you would be really afraid. He's not like what the Giants did when they traded for Darren Waller. He's a solid tight end.
He's a reliable tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, Dalton Schultz is cool, but is he a Darren Waller? No. He definitely is not a Travis Kelce. He definitely is not a George Kittle.
Yeah. So
yeah. No, he's not even anywhere in the stratosphere of those three.
Because then if you look at their receivers, Indianapolis got some Pittman Jr. They got some receivers that they can throw the rock to.
I say they should. I would say they should because Pittman haven't stepped up yet.
And to me, I'd probably put Schultz in the category of Dawson Knox, the tight end with the Bills.
Well, who's serviceable? He's a pretty decent tight end.
Basically, right? Yeah.
You can forget about him and then he'll beat you.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. Both of you. Yes. That's exactly how I categorize Dalton Schultz. But yeah, the offense in Houston, it is dependent. It's basically dependent on Dalton Schultz in the air and Dameon Pierce on the ground.
Well, I will leave this as a question mark out here because I am interested in seeing is that since John Mechie is back and he's able to play, that could be if he's still the same way he was, that could be the number one target.
I like his motor. I do. But he needs more. He needs more. Because if he's going to be that number one target, forget about it. No.
But I do think they do have the better head coach.
I agree.
I do think
I agree there.
The better head coach. I like D'Amico Ryan. I really do. Mm-hmm. I really think he has the potential to be a really great coach. So with that being said, he does have the coach. But he just doesn't have the talent around him.
All right. So you get a coaching advantage to Houston.
Yeah,
I would.
Even though they both in their first year as a head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, because D'Amico Ryans, I mean, I understand this.
He's coming to me. Yes. All right. Yes. You got the head coach coming from the head coach coming from the Eagles, which is a winning organization. Yes.
And Shane Schleicher, awesome.
Yeah. You have D'Amico Ryan coming from the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying which is we know what they do year in, year out. They're one of the last few years, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. So he's coming from that system. I just feel that if they can surround CJ Stroud with more talent, I think he'll end up having a better career than Anthony Richardson.
I agree.
But if they can't get him those weapons, and because I do like Pierce, I love him as a running back. He is a dog.
Yeah.
But you don't have. This is a pass happy league, and you don't have the weapons as far as receivers go to challenge any. So that's why, yeah, to me, Anthony Richardson has the much more upside at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, Shane Steichen coming from that Philadelphia. You've seen what he did with Jalen Hurts for a year.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he kind of tries to use that formula that he used with Jalen Hurts, we'll see how it goes. Because Anthony Richardson he's a project, man. He has talent. He has the talent. But again, this isn't someone who doesn't have a lot of tape in college.
Oh, I tell anybody. I've told this several times. Even Snowman asked me, give him time to develop. The accuracy. He has the throwing power.
Oh, no, he has a cannon. I've seen him throw, yes. But he doesn't have the tape, man. He doesn't
have the accuracy. He cannot put the ball in a tight window to where a receiver that can go get it.
Yeah.
Go back. You talking to a Gator fan. Look at his tape. Look at the Tennessee game. The reason why Florida lost that game, because he couldn't throw in the tight windows. When you have a window that's about 2 inches wide, he can't get it in there.
That's it. And that's in the college level. So imagine in the NFL where they're much faster and stronger, how much more difficult it's going to be.
Because in the NFL, you got to be able to throw in the tight windows. You got to be able to throw your receiver open.
Mm-hmm.
Now, trust me, if you have a play and the receiver's open, he will launch it and it'll be right there with no problem. But what for Anthony Richardson is he got to be able to throw his receiver open. Throw it to where his receiver can make the play and let them do their job. I can tell you this, though. He's going to understand a lot of plays because he don't go down easily.
He's definitely it's gonna be a real interesting season.
But like y'all said, can they keep Jonathan Taylor? Because I think after today, if there's no trade, Jonathan Taylor stays. They gave him a Tuesday deadline. And so far, I'm guessing they're not liking what they're getting. Because one of the teams that is known to be in that trade-off is Miami. And Lord knows that Miami get Jonathan Taylor.
But do they have the assets to get him? That's the question.
See, they said a first-round pick or something equivalent to a first-round pick. So possibly Miami do, because Miami got a whole bunch of draft picks. They got draft picks for like the next 3 years.
He's interesting. You're muted, bro. You're muted.
Mute him.
Well, I'm glad you're not talking about the U, but the Dolphins, their concern is can Tagovailoa avoid a concussion? But enough of that. We have to invite someone who normally joins us at the bottom of hour number 2 at every Monday, and here he is. And joining us on the Invader Coffee guest line, it is the one, the only Jay Spivey with Spivey Notes. How are you, my friend? Okay.
I don't hear Jay.
Jay.
Jay muted too.
Okay. All right, let's try this again. All right, Jay, can you hear me, sir? All right, well, we'll get Jay when he can get on. All right. All right, this again. All right. So, what do you think when you ask the question, who has the bigger upside, Richardson or Stroud?
This season,
Mm-hmm.
I would say Richardson.
Okay.
He has an offensive-minded head coach.
Okay.
Who just got done working with Jalen Hurts and getting them to the Super Bowl.
I agree with that.
And
All
basically
right.
having a better quarterback in the Super Bowl.
So it looks like we do have Jay on the line. How are you doing, Jay?
Cole, sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Mhm.
All's well which ends well. I'm just glad that we connected with you, my friend. Okay, let's see. Where can I begin? Should I talk about the debacle that is the Carolina Panthers?
No.
Should I talk about the debacle that's umpiring in the Major League Baseball realm?
Oh my God.
You can go anywhere you want. I can answer any of those questions.
Yeah, because okay, well, I think I'll start with the Panthers. From the field to the team, wow.
I mean, I don't know if y'all. I just caught a little bits and pieces of the game that was on last night between the Texans and Saints, and Greg Olson sort of made reference to the Panthers, and he says they're a long way into the process of regrouping and overhauling the team. Granted, I've not seen them much this preseason because I've been so busy, but it just doesn't seem good at all.
No.
I mean, he threw a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen.
Okay, so
nice back shoulder,
Bryce Young.
nice back shoulder throw, you know.
And I
Bryce
am not
Young.
trying to put down Bryce Young at all. I was a huge fan of his at Alabama. That's just I don't see that there's a lot of pieces around him.
No, we
There
know
aren't.
why we know what you're
There
talking
aren't.
about when it comes to Carolina Panthers. The other people might take it and construe it. We understand when it comes to the Carolina Panthers, your thought is you don't think Bryce Young gonna last because that offensive line is terrible.
Yeah, I was about to say basically
He's
what
just-
Jay is saying.
Well,
Go ahead, Jay.
I've looked at the stats and he's just getting abused every game.
Yeah. So what Jay is saying is that Bryce Young will be basically like this all 2023.
You trade all those picks to the Bears, and I just don't get it. When to me the prudent move would have been to wait till next year because you're going to be bad again this year.
Have a better
So
class.
just wait.
Yeah, and would have had a better quarterback class. Yeah.
This recruiting, I mean, I know there were a lot of quarterbacks in this past year's class, but this year's class is better.
Yeah.
As far as I know-
Imagine having Caleb Williams instead of Bryce Young. Yeah.
Right. Or Drake May. I mean, you can't tell me that Drake May's from Charlotte. You tell me they wouldn't want a hometown kid played for you?
Caleb Williams has already started his repeat of a Heisman Trophy.
Okay, yeah, Southern Cal looked pretty good the other night. Of course, they did play San Jose State.
You know how bad it is when the snap is fumbled on the ground and they even get to you. You can pick it up and still launch a 50-something yard touchdown pass.
Well, there's no question he's a good quarterback. He's probably going to be the number one quarterback. I don't know what he was talking about over the weekend, talking about he might stay in school. There's no way he's staying in school.
He said that so they can leave him alone and let him play the season.
He's not going to stay there another year.
He's going to be gone after this season.
Exactly.
Actually, I love his answer because it's like, look, I'm going to stay here for another year so y'all can leave me alone about that. I have a season to play.
Just like Drake May. Drake May's technically has 2 years of eligibility left if he wants. But he's not going to stay there.
And he could probably go say the same thing. Look, I'm focused on the season. I'll deal with that when time comes.
Because don't forget, Drake May, he redshirted his freshman year. So this is his third year, but it's only his second year playing.
See, they don't want to deal with this all season. They just want to play. That's the vibe I get from Drake May.
Well,
they just want to play.
I saw the mock draft the other day, one of the mock drafts the other day, and they had Williams going 1, then Marvin Harrison Jr. going 2, and then Drake May 3. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, and that doesn't either. It doesn't either. But it looks like the Panthers, unless they go really, really bad and they decide that Bryce Young isn't the guy, they won't be in the market for him.
Well, whether it be the Panthers or any other team that goes all out doing this, it sets you back for years.
All I know.
I got a question for you because this is the official week, even though we just had week 0. This is the official week of college football. And you have the Battle of Carolinas happening up in Charlotte.
What? North Carolina probably has better talent, but I always go with the SEC. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Unless Clemson's playing South Carolina. Unless.
Even in North Carolina, they probably would give it to South Carolina, considering, well, yeah, that's an SEC team we're going up against.
Well, yeah, I mean, and Columbia's not even that far. Columbia's not far.
No, Columbia's not that far. Yeah, it's not that far from Charlotte. Yeah.
So I mean, and you got college game day coming, gonna be there too.
Yeah,
which is surprised me. I thought they should have been in Orlando, but that's another story.
Well, we all know where they're going to be next week for a real football game.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa next Saturday.
Not a real football game. Oh my. Okay.
But I mean,
all right.
When you do stuff like the Panthers did, and I know the $40 have gotten kind of lucky, but this just shows you how far you can get set back when Trey Lance has just been a bust, and you traded all those picks for no reason when you could have kept Garoppolo, and now they got no first-round picks forever. And then you traded him to Dallas 2 years later for a 4th-round pick.
But people were saying though that Trey Lance actually was going to be the one to replace Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
He barely played in college. I mean, barely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This is what I find funny. Now, people were saying that this would be the guy that was going to be the heir apparent to Jimmy Garoppolo, and he, after getting his feelings hurt being the third stringer, and that not being able to beat out Sam Darnold for a second string job, he's like, well, train me to a team that I can find some time playing in, and he's going to be the third stringer with the Cowboys.
Right.
You saying he couldn't beat the Ghost Boy?
He can't lay a finger on him because Cooper Rush actually has a body of work of wins.
Done well. My question is, why do the Cowboys want him? This is a typical Jerry Jones move.
Well, see, that's why I love Gerald. He makes no sense.
How long has it been since they even looked at a Super Bowl?
Well, hopefully for them February, but for the team at large, no. I mean, when I mean looked at, I mean on TV. But for them actually being sniffing it,
hello,
we're talking 28 years.
Why not?
Ain't counting, because they ain't gonna get there this year.
No.
No, I'm saying right now.
Let's say right has them as the second best team in the NFC. No, they're not. They're not.
Second best. Second best team in the NFC.
No, they're not.
They're only the second best team in the NFC East. The second best team in the NFC. Well, look,
the Giants are better. The Commanders will be better.
I mean, yeah, they'd be better as a team, but I mean, could you say either one are better than the Cowboys, though?
Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks when the Giants play the Cowboys on Sunday night.
Yeah. I mean, because unfortunately, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Dakota Prescott, on the other side, you have Daniel Jones. I mean, come on. I mean,
Hey,
that
he,
right
he
there.
didn't turn the ball over as much as Dak Prescott did last season. Okay.
I know that. But you could say that he has one victory over them last year too. The other happened to be Cooper Rush at QB.
Right.
But
And listen, I'm not wishing him to get hurt at all, but Dak's going to get hurt this season. You know he is.
That seems to be the run. Not running joke. That seems to be the running theme with him, that he will miss some time in the regular season at some point.
And the funny thing about it is he played 12 games and he still led the league in interceptions thrown.
Yes, he did.
But I look at it this way. I just don't see how either the Commanders or the Giants can match it with that defensive side of the ball for the Cowboys.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably
that to me is why I'd say the rubber meets the road there, and I just don't see them being better than that unit. Now offensively, you have a really good point, Jay. I think the Giants, if they really did do their due diligence offensively, they probably can get with the Cowboys. And we did see this with Cowboys. I mean, we did see this with the Commanders starting Sam Howell.
Who's from North Carolina, by the way.
You know,
Yep.
so and now
could have had two.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted 30 miles from Charlotte.
But they wanted the big they wanted to make the big splash. So Sam Howell wasn't a big enough splash.
David Tepper.
Bryce Young from Bama was. That's what I'm saying. The owner of the Panthers, David Tepper, wanted to make that big splash, as he always does.
I give Cowboys third best.
What I can't figure out is that he's basically running that stadium. And listen, I'm not her biggest fan, but I do respect her. She seems to have been to every NFL stadium but the Panthers, meaning Taylor Swift. I don't get it. She didn't even come to North Carolina, and that's by far the biggest stadium in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
How do you not get her in Charlotte?
Are you saying that Taylor Swift is throwing the middle finger at Bank of America Stadium because she doesn't
something like that?
Because she doesn't think the stadium is quality enough?
Let's face it, guys. Whether you like her music or not, you got to respect what she's doing right now.
Oh, I do, from the standpoint of when she is in town, that city makes a whole boatload of money, and I know this because back in May when she was in Nashville, oh my gosh, every hotel known to man was booked.
Yep. Hold on. So you're telling me this artist by the name of Taylor Swift can do a concert in a full pull-down ring at Gillette Stadium?
Mm-hmm. And many other things
talk about it. And say,
many others.
It ain't working.
Well, I'll go a step further. Most people consider Beyonce to be the most powerful music, at least the most powerful female musician. And I would probably go that route too. But Beyonce came to Charlotte and Taylor didn't. So what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a real good question.
And if David Tepper is running the stadium, wouldn't you do your darndest to get Taylor Swift to come to your stadium?
And that's another question I have. What was David Tepper smoking and wanted to change the turf from grass to AstroTurf?
That's part of the reason he wanted more concerts there.
Oh Lord! So
it ruined the field every time they had a concert.
So it's a massive fail already.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's had plenty of concerts there, but not Taylor Swift.
Right.
I mean, she's been everywhere but Charlotte.
Because when she was here in Nashville and then in Atlanta later that week, both cities were shut down.
And
She's selling out everywhere she's going, man. She's selling out.
I'm not saying anything negative toward any city she's been to, But Charlotte's one of the biggest stadiums in the NFL. You can't get her to come.
I mean, it was funny. Playmaker. Weren't you upset that she moved Janet Jackson's concert because of Taylor Swift being in Atlanta?
No, not because the Atlanta Hawks didn't do what they supposed to have done. That's the problem. The Hawks were supposed to lose to the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics, for some odd reason, decided to let the Hawks win in Boston.
Well,
really?
yeah, but they decided to let them score 119 points.
And Janet Jackson had to move her concert back to that Friday because freaking. My fact, you know what? Let's play Wise clip for me. That's all I got. Let's play Wise clip.
Oh, Lord, fine. Okay. The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe. I'm loving this. 4 months later, you getting hot again. That's funny. I'm sorry, Wise. Go ahead.
I just want to let it be known. I am no longer that person. I've reformed. I don't talk about Boston anymore. I'm trying to behave.
Until when? October? Maybe that's why season come back around.
You're trying to be okay. All right, Jay. So there was this running joke of Wise just running down everything Boston and the city itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
as a true New Yorker.
As a true New Yorker that he is, because he's straight from Brooklyn. So last month he actually said that he was no longer going to run down Boston or Bostonians.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had a ball laughing at Wise and saying that.
Well, I don't know how much he is. I don't know if he's a Yankees or Mets fan, but considering the state of the two teams in New York, woo.
Well, he's a Yankees fan. And,
wow, he ain't worried about the Yankees no more. He moved on to the Giants.
Oh no. He's a Yankees fan, but he basically says this is a lost season for the Yankees. He's now about the Giants.
And the funny thing, Jay, is right after that game when Atlanta beat Boston in Game 5, I came right on this show and said blank Boston, and Cole almost fell out of his chair. That's how angry I was at Boston.
It was funny. Oh, I enjoyed it, man.
And it was right before Snowman was about to do a custom experience. That's how we ended up opening the custom experience. With me going on saying blank Boston, and Cole almost fell out the seat.
I'm like, he is going in on Boston. I'm like, oh Lord. I thought I knew I was doing Snowman in the morning. I thought I was doing Mentality when I was hearing Playmaker. I'm like, wow. All right, Jay. So of course we share a wonderful, well, all of us share a wonderful love of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to have seen a play, and I think this was between the Marlins and the Brewers, where it was a tapper that went to first base on the first base side. The pitcher fields it, and he throws it to first. And of course, the runner was called out, as he should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But wait. They review it, and they actually said it was pitcher's interference,
yes.
And they ruled him safe. And then when you look at the replay, you're looking at the runner running on the grass, not running at the spot where it's designated halfway down the first base line that you're supposed to run as a runner.
Yeah,
so it would be considered legal.
What is it? It's a 3 feet gap, right?
Yeah. It's a 3 feet gap. Mm-hmm. And it's marked on the field. So it's marked on the diamond.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no way you can avoid it.
Yeah. I was so livid when I saw that. I'm like, you mean to tell me that you're going to call this runner safe and he was running inside the baseline? He was running on the grass. I'm like,
it makes no sense.
Lord have mercy.
What about the one? I forgot what game it was, but one play last week where the first baseman's foot was clearly off the bag and they called him out. They reviewed it and still said he was safe. I mean, still out. When his foot was clearly off the bag.
I can't remember the two teams, but I do remember the play. But I can't remember the two teams.
That might have been the Brewers too.
And it causes me to just throw this question out at all three of you. Are we getting to the point where eventually we're going to basically say now we have the pitch clock, which a lot of people, Jay included, saying it's actually a good thing for the sport?
It is a good thing.
Are we getting to a point where we're going to have umpires not even be anywhere on the field anymore?
Well, I don't mind base umpires, but I think they
behind
are
the plate, maybe behind the plate.
They are testing the robo ump in minor league baseball, and it seems to be working. And if we could get the strike zone right, I'm perfectly fine with the robo ump because the strike zones are all over the place.
I have a huge problem with that. Yes,
because you have different umpires behind the plate, so of course it's so much inconsistency on where they're calling this ball.
The strike zones.
And they're for the most part, the umpires are good. Yes. Now there's one umpire, everybody knows he's bad. He keeps being rated bad every year, and yet I saw him in a series over the weekend.
Andrew Hernandez?
No, well he's right up there too. CB Buckner.
Oh, CB.
CB Buckner's horrible. Horrible. And I saw him in a series over the weekend.
So what did I have noticed in every major sport? There's always how can I put this? There's always that one thing that is not consistent. And it's like it's never gonna be the so with baseball, it's the strike zone. What's a strike and what's a ball? And football is pass interference. What is pass interference? What is not pass interference?
What
is it offense or is it defense? And basketball is the block charge call. These calls is never be 100%. It always confuses everybody every single season.
It's a bug.
But the block charge doesn't happen 300 times a game like a pitch does. I just want a consistent what the rule book says is a strike. And if it takes having an umpire, a person behind the plate and a robo ump behind the plate, I'm fine with that. And the pitch clock is by far working.
Oh, you talking about 30 to 35 minutes straight off the game?
I think I saw Jeff Passan from ESPN put out a tweet yesterday. I think games are really short by like 20-some minutes this year. And the pitches are way down. And the speed of the game, it's just so different this year.
Yeah.
I like the fact,
but they still want more time when it gets to playoffs. Interesting.
They better not even consider that.
That's the thing. They are considering it. I'm sorry.
Nobody wants to see 4 or 5 hour games. They don't want to see that.
Yeah, I like the fact that the games have been moving faster. Like 2.5 hours is great for a game. I don't want to spend 4 or 5 hours watching the game.
According to Deeks, when he went to Yankee Stadium, if he went to go get something to eat, he would have missed the whole inning.
Right.
No, more than one inning. Missed more than one inning. It was more like 3.
Now, and another part of the problem with it, another part of this equation is these pitchers aren't taught to pitch. They're just taught to throw as hard as they possibly can. So you're missing the strike zone. If pitchers are ever actually taught to pitch, then the games will be shortened even more. Because they're missing the strike zone. There's still a lot of walks in the game. Hit batters, a lot of hit batters.
I'm seeing more hit batters than I can remember.
Because people don't pitch. They just throw as hard as they can. And you wonder why there's so many Tommy John surgeries and arm and shoulder injuries.
Yeah, I'm seeing more of those too. Yeah.
Insert Shohei Ohtani.
Insert Felix Bautista the other night for the Orioles. Yeah. Blew out his UCL just like Ohtani did. Because the human body is not meant to throw 102 miles an hour.
No. It's not, but you're going to be seeing more of those.
and then listen, even if you watch the Little League World Series yesterday, the pitcher was complaining about being hurt, and he's 12 years old.
Shout out to California, by the way, walk-off grand slam.
We talked about that earlier. But all that being said, so now we have races I mean, we could talk about the AL Comedy Central.
And that is so true too. That is so true.
But pretty much, yeah. Go ahead, Wise.
Watch the Twins win the World Series. Now that you said that,
it probably so.
But what we should be talking about is that team up in the Great North East, Great Northwest.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Is being led by a superstar in the making,
Julio Rodriguez, who might be the AL MVP this year.
Could be. He could be.
Yeah.
So,
I'm getting to that.
Oh no, yeah, because all year it's been a 2-horse race. It's been Houston and Texas, Houston and Texas, Houston and Texas.
And the funny thing is with that. So the Astros have been trying to catch the Rangers all year long and have been battling and scraping and fighting to catch them. They finally catch them, and the day that they catch them, the Mariners overtake both of them for first place in the AL West.
Right. And Cole, I know you're a big Astros fan, but how do you score 17 and give up 17 in the same week?
If you have an answer for that for me, Jay, please tell me, because they couldn't buy a hit against the Red Sox when they allowed 17 runs. I think on some ridiculous number like 24, 25 hits, and then they couldn't miss a Tigers pitcher or pitch yesterday. And it's like, it's frustrating to me seeing the Astros, although, for the exception of the split series with the Red Sox, the split series with the Yankees in the Bronx, and the series where they did get swept at home against the Mariners, they were actually taking 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, but the bats were cold, and you would have to get these timely hits, namely by Tucker, to actually have them pull these games out. So it was frustrating me to watch this, and they blew, and they would have swept the Tigers, but the game they lost there, they blew a lead with 2 outs in the 9th inning. So I'm really frustrated with the Astros offense.
Well, and
I was going to ask Jay about
to go along with my theme of TV having zero clue about what game to cover. Why on earth are the Yankees anywhere near national TV the rest of the season?
Because the Yankees are the number 1 team still. I look at them, they're like the Cowboys in the NFL, they're like the Lakers in the NBA. No matter how crappy they do, we have to be subject to them because TV execs think that we would like to actually see these teams play, and we don't.
Yeah.
Look,
the Lakers
Cole,
got opening night.
It's Labor Day Sunday night coming up this week, and ESPN has chosen to show the Astros and Yankees. Now, on paper, that should be a rout.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you showing the Yankees?
Because I'm thinking they're saying, well, it's not really the Yankees are showing. Now it's the Astros for showing.
Well, but generally, if you have a team like the Astros, the Giants, or whomever else, you always the ESPN seems to go with they had to have either New York or Chicago or an LA team playing.
Right. Now,
that's
I'm Astros fan.
Sunday night baseball?
Yeah. Well,
let me go here.
Now, I'm Astros
they ain't
fan.
Gonna win.
I don't want to see
that. You have LSU and Florida State playing on ABC in college.
Or seriously, I'm totally biased here. I get this, but the Braves and Dodgers are playing 4 games starting Thursday in LA.
That would be the better series to watch.
The two best teams in the National League, you argue, are the 2 best teams in baseball, and not one of them is on national TV. Not one.
I will say this, considering that you mentioned I'm a fan of one of the teams that will be on TV. The Braves Dodgers is the better series to watch.
It's not even close.
I think I would watch that series before I would watch the Yankees Astros series.
I would too.
And I'm a Yankees fan.
And I'm an Astros fan. I would want to watch the Braves Dodgers. Yes.
Speaking of the Braves, I was going to ask what was going on with the Braves, but I kind of figure I think we're cruising now. Because ain't nobody in our division going to catch us.
Well, they're cruising in the division. The division is basically over. But
the Braves got the
Dodgers
division
only-
locked.
The Dodgers are only 4 games behind the Braves for the best record in the National
Best
League.
record in National League.
That's a big deal.
So basically, what Jay is
Yeah.
saying, they better get back to doing what they used to be doing.
Well,
I mean,
but-
four
but
games is not insurmountable.
No, and I have
Got
said,
4 games coming up starting Thursday.
Yeah,
I would say they can be
and
wiped
it's
out
funny,
this week.
and it's funny you mentioned. It's funny why you mentioned the Rangers chasing the Astros. When August began, they were 5 games behind. Now they're even with them. So to your point, Jay, 4 games in a month is not that hard of a lead to have evaporate.
Forget that month. Jay said we got a 4-game series with them. They can wipe that out by sweeping us.
Yeah, but I will go ahead, Wise.
I don't think they will because
Matter of fact, where's they played it?
Besides that loss, this loss that they had yesterday, the Braves were.
Are we at Dodger Stadium or are we playing at
Dodgers?
So it's in LA, okay.
And the Dodgers already beat the Braves early in the season, 2 out of 3, so they already technically have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
For right now, they do.
And you know when we go to Dodger Stadium, we don't play that well.
See, this is the way I look at it. With the Braves, it doesn't really matter what they do now. Seriously, it never mattered what they did from the time opening day started to now and after.
But I do think
it is all about October then.
Deal.
It is all about October for the Braves.
I agree.
All about October.
Totally agree. But home field advantage is going to be a major. Having one more game at home is a big deal.
And now here's the problem with that. Yes, you're right. Having home field is a big deal, but they had home field against the Phillies last year. What happened?
Well, that happened. I just think, honestly, the whole season and losing Ozzy Albies just killed them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Albies is supposed to come back tonight, and they desperately need him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been out the last week and a half.
Yeah.
But to your point there, Cole, because 2 years ago when we did win the whole thing, we did have to go to Dodger Stadium to get there.
Oh, and when you won the whole thing, you did not have home field advantage against the Astros. And what did you all do? You clinched Game 6 and Minute Maid.
And meanwhile, there's a team 12 games out in the National League East that could very well win the World Series.
Yeah, because here we go again. Here we go again.
In the Phillies, yes.
Here we go again.
They're starting to catch fire again at the same time they did last year. Yeah,
and that's how it is.
Scare me to death.
Damn Phillies. And guess what? Nobody in wild card can catch them. They showed the stats on Sports the other day. I'm like, they're not catching. Nobody's catching them.
No. Well, I mean, they could be caught, but I doubt they will be.
It's possible they can be caught.
Well, they're not going to be caught. But I'm talking about the division.
I said they could be. I don't think they will be.
Over. The Braves still have 7 more games with the Phillies. They still have 7 more games with the Phillies coming up.
7 more games. Oh
the Braves got the NL East zone.
Oh, that's over. But I still think the Phillies are going to want. I mean, they obviously want to win, but I think they really want to put it against them when they play in. I think it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they play 7 games. 7 games in like 2 weeks or 10 days or 11 days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's a doubleheader. But the Phillies, I mean,
you got to split that one at least. You got to.
And in that stadium, I mean, it's a bandbox.
Oh, it's in Philly? Oh, Lord.
Yo, Citizens Bank, yeah.
It's a bandbox.
It is a bandbox. Mm-hmm. Now, what I do find interesting, though, or actually both wild cards, but I want to focus on the NL. So you mentioned we all mentioned the Phillies, but then you have the Diamondbacks, Cubs, Reds, and Giants, all battling for the last 2 spots in the wild card. Which of those two teams do you think? Which of those 2 teams do you think will make it?
Well, if you look at the schedule this week, you can tell a lot.
Oh, and I forgot. And I forgot. You have the Marlins who are also in the running too. I forgot.
Yeah, true.
Oh no, they
If you
choking
look
it
at the
away.
schedule this week, the Cubs are playing the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are playing the Reds starting tonight, I believe, and then the Diamondbacks and Dodgers are playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this week's going to tell a lot about where these teams fit.
It will.
And frankly, I think right now the way they're playing, obviously, I think the Phillies are the best team of the wild card team. But
Yeah, they are.
I think the Cubs are the next best team.
Agreed. I think if I had to pick who's going to be the number 2 wild card team, I lean Cubs. I do. I lean Cubs. Even though, yes, right now they're battling the Diamondbacks for 2 and 3 at the moment, but yeah, I lean Cubs because Diamondbacks started off hot. Now they're starting to tail off like the Marlins did.
And great, the Marlins got the Rays next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
and the Yankees act like fools to them over the weekend.
Now in the AL, do you guys think the Orioles will hold off the Rays to win the AL East?
I do, but we'll. I mean, the Rays are playing pretty well again. But I'm just listen. I understand the Rays kind of buck the trend with how they win and with their low payroll and how they do things.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, until you win the whole thing, I just don't know how you could say that they're the favorite.
Yeah, I can't go so far as to say they're the favorite either. Although, yes, best record in the AL. But yeah, I can't really go favorite. In fact, I definitely can't go favorite because when the Astros played them in Baltimore, I did not see the team that played fundamentally sound in that series. I saw a team that tightened up.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I was going to see that. But it reminded me, okay, well, the Orioles are young.
Right.
And they have to learn how to win still. So, yeah, they're a great team, no question about it. And they're going to they'll probably advance if they don't play a team like the Astros early on in the playoffs. I could see them actually having a taste of success. But to be the favorite in the American League, no.
And whether either one of them advance very far this year or not, meaning the Orioles and the Rays, they're going to be around for a while because of how much young talent they have.
Now going to the future, we'll be hearing about the Rays and Orioles for a good while. Mm-hmm.
Especially the Orioles. I mean, the Orioles have so much talent; it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing up a kid today who's their 25th best prospect. I mean, and he's probably going to be their closer for at least a little while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have those two teams. Obviously, whoever is not going to win the AL East, they will. I think they have the number 1 wild card spot sewn, locked, and shipped to October. So
meanwhile, the team in third place in that division is once again underachieved. I don't understand the Blue Jays.
I don't think the Blue Jays understand the Blue Jays. They have all of this talent and they have all of the expectation, and every analyst keeps saying, look out for the Blue Jays. This is the team. This is the team that's going to actually be the tough one to watch. Watch out for them. And they underwhelm you. This is the 3rd straight year where this has happened.
They're like the Padres of the American League. Yeah, even up until Saturday, it looks like it's over finally for the Padres. But even up until Saturday, I was watching the Braves game, and the announcer goes, "I'm still not counting out the Padres." Like, what this season leads you to believe they're going to make the playoffs? And the Blue Jays are kind of the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now, more and more, it is looking like we're going to have 3 teams coming out the AL West going into the playoffs. Because I would love to say the Jays will probably make life tough for whichever teams do not win the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
But the Blue Jays keep losing key series.
Yep.
They just keep doing it. And because of that, it's actually helped all 3 of the teams. It has helped the Mariners, helped the Rangers, and helped the Astros. And the Rangers hiccuped and the Astros against the Mariners hiccuped,
Right.
and they still have a hefty lead over the Blue Jays. All three of them do. Yeah. So I find that amazing, and it's unfortunate because I do want to see this team break through, but it's like they still keep getting their own way. And you can say it's injuries, but you can only say injuries, but for so long, and you can only take that excuse so far.
Just like with the Padres, there's clearly a chemistry issue there. There just is.
Now
I don't know who to blame. There's a chemistry issue there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can bring in all stars you want.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't mesh, and if you don't play well as a team, you're not going to win.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Ah, man, I could talk about this forever. It was actually good to talk baseball extensively with you, my friend. So tell the people they can find you and all that good stuff, sir.
Well, I'm on Facebook at Jay Spivey, on what I guess we're calling it X now, at Jay Spivey.
Yes, it's now called X.
At Jay Spivey _WS, and then I'm on Instagram at Jay Spivey 3.
All right. We'll see. You got it. You understand. This man knows a lot about baseball. He knows a lot about other sports too. Definitely knows some football. Definitely knows hockey. When we get to those times of the year, you will definitely hear the expertise come out of this man. And I have grown to respect and really love what he is and who he is. Dave Spivey joins us every Monday, giving us Spivey notes. I hope you have a great rest of your week, man, and keep doing what you do.
Thank you, Carl. Really appreciate it. That's nice words from you. Appreciate that.
Oh, no problem, man. All right, Playmaker, I have one question and one thing to I guess one demand of you. The question is, will you be joining us tomorrow?
Yes, I will be joining you guys tomorrow.
All right. So if you're joining us
tomorrow.
All right. So if you be here tomorrow, then I only have one demand of you, and that is let me see. How can I talk about this? Oh yeah.
You need me to roast somebody?
I'll mention it in the morning. I
had a feeling.
I'll mention it in the morning to you before we go on air.
I had a feeling you was going that route.
Yeah, I'll mention in the morning.
He's missing a hot seat. I haven't put nobody in the hot seat in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's about time. It's about time that we unveil for somebody. Yeah. So tell people where they can find your Playmaker.
Well, I can tell you this shortly after I get off here. I'm getting ready right now to go ahead and recap Game 2 for the United States as they defeated Greece today, dominant fashion. I'll be recapping that literally probably about like 15 minutes after I get off here.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to get me that recap. Cool. Go ahead. I don't know if Cool dropped it in the chat yet, but Cool is debuting a new show tonight that I am a part of around 6:30, if I'm correct.
Oh, okay.
So 6:30. Right. And for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of sports going on right now. Okay, the U.S. Open is underway right now up in New York.
Yeah, the tennis tournament. Yes.
And later on tonight, it is round 5 between the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty on ESPN2 at 7:00.
WNBA action, rounding third, going home the regular season, and the playoffs begin next month. Oh, all right. We'll handicap it when the playoffs get here, which I think is about 2 weeks' time. All right. Well, if that is it for you, sir, thank you again, as you always do. You did a wonderful job, and thank you for subbing in for me when I had to go and do some other duties. And that is all the time we have for Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. With the Playmaker, I am Cole Johnson, here to say the following to you. Take care. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then it's simply not, well, they simply would be. Dream big, do bigger. And remember, if you have a hard time visualizing who you need to be like this man. See ya. Trey Lance taking over for Dak Prescott.
Bitch, are you for real?